Okay, y'all, now I'm going to teach you how to do critical care drips, how to calculate the flow rate in milliliters per hour utilizing the shortcut method. So again, just like any other equation, the first thing I do is I find out what this question is asking me. And in this case, I can look at this and see right away that this question is asking me milliliters per hour. So what am I going to set my pump at, essentially? So the physician ordered an IV of dobutamine at 5 mics per kilogram per minute, and the patient weighs 152 pounds. The IV solution is 500 milligrams and 250 mLs of D5W. How many milliliters per hour should the nurse set the pump? And I'm going to round to whole numbers. So the formula in the shortcut method is the dose times 60 minutes times the weight in kilograms. And you're going to divide this by the concentration of the solution in the dose ordered. And this is where I see students make mistakes. You have to convert your concentration to what's ordered, okay? So in this case, we're going to convert to micrograms. So again, I find the concentration in the dose ordered. I've got 500 milligrams and 250. So that means I have 500,000 micrograms and 250 mLs, which yields a final concentration of 2,000 micrograms per ml. Then I just simply plug in the numbers. It's so easy. Now, I already figured out my weight in kilograms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my dose, 5 mics times 60 minutes times the weight in kilograms, 69.0909091. And I'm going to divide it by the concentration in the units ordered, okay, which is 2,000. This is going to give me 10.363 milliliters per hour. All I need to do now is round, and it says a whole number, and that's going to be 10 mLs per hour. Okay, so the answer is 10 mLs per hour. Let's try a different type of problem. Okay, now in this one, again, first step, what do I need to solve? It's milliliters per hour. In this one, there's no kilograms. It's not weight-based. So let's see how we do one that's not weight-based. The provider has ordered an IV infusion of amiodarone at 0.5 milligrams per minute, and you have 550 milligrams of amiodarone in 250 mLs of fluid. What rate will you run your IV at in milliliters per hour? So the first thing you want to do is find your concentration. The dose here, how do you solve the problem in milliliters per hour? You take the dose, you times it by 60 minutes and divide it by the concentration in the dose ordered. So to find the concentration in the dose ordered, I already noticed that it's in milligrams and the dose is in milligrams, so that's awesome. I don't need to convert. All I simply do is divide 450 milligrams divided by 250 mLs, which gives me a concentration of 1.8 milligrams per ml. Then all I simply do is plug in the rest of the numbers. So the dose is 0.5 milligrams times 60 minutes, because it is in minutes, and I divide that by 1.8 milligrams per ml, which is my concentration in the same units, and that yields me a final volume of 16.6666667, okay? So if you do not get an indication of what to round at, it's going to be a whole number, okay? So in this case, I would round up to 17 mLs per hour. That's the last step there. Now, let's say you have a heparin drip. How can I apply this formula to heparin drips, okay? So this is, for this problem, they want you to figure out how many mLs per hour to set your pump, okay? So we have no conversions. It's not weight-based, and we don't have to convert minutes. So all we're simply going to do is take our dose that's ordered and divide it by the concentration of the solution in the dose ordered. And in this case, we don't have to convert because they're both in units, okay? So the units, the concentration, we're going to take 20,000 units and divide it by 250 mLs, and that's going to give us a concentration of 80 units per ml. Now all we do is find out what our desired dose is. It's 750 units per hour. We're going to divide it by our concentration, 80 units per ml. That's going to yield us a final volume of 9.375 mLs per hour. It doesn't tell me where to round, so I'm going to round to a whole number, 9 mLs per hour. Now on your exams in an NCLEX, it will say where to round. Okay, so let's apply this to a different type of situation. You have, in order to run nitroglycerin at 16 mics per minute, you have a solution of 50 milligrams of nitroglycerin in 250 mLs of fluid. What rate will you set your IV at? So I'm just going to do a little shortcut here. So I'm going to take 50,000 and divide it by 250 to give me a yield of 200 mics per ml, okay? And then I'm going to take my dose, 16 mics, I'm going to multiply it by 60 minutes because that'll give me an hour. And then I'm going to divide it by 200, and that's going to give me 4.8 milliliters per hour, and it doesn't tell me where to round, so I'm going to round to a whole number, and that's going to be 5 mLs per hour. Okay, now let's do a weight-based heparin order, and it's the provider orders a heparin drip at 18 units per kilogram per hour for a patient who has DVT. The patient weighs 66 kilograms. The pharmacy sent 25,000 units of heparin and 250 mLs of D5W. How many mLs per hour will the nurse set the IV pump? And so we need to solve the milliliters per hour. Again, what we're going to do for this formula is we're just going to take our dose and multiply it by the weight in kilograms because the dose is in hours. Okay, and then we're going to divide it by the concentration of the solution in the dose ordered. Since the dose ordered is the same as the same units as the concentration, we're simply going to take 25,000 units divided by 250, which is going to give us a concentration of 100 units per ml. Now all we have to do is plug in these numbers, okay? So 18 units times the weight in kilograms divided by 100 units per ml equals 11.88 units per hour. And this is going to be rounded up to 12 units per hour. And just remember, on your exams, it's going to tell you exactly where to round. Okay, so I want you to pick the formula that works best for you. In 5th semester, I don't try to change the way students do their problems unless they tell me they really don't have a method, and then I'm going to work with you to find the method that's going to work best for you, okay? But before I do that, before I meet with anybody, I'm going to hold you accountable to do all those ATI modules and bring me the proof that you've done it, okay? You're going to show me proof that you've been working on this before you meet with me because you need to use your resources. This is like really no new math that I'm teaching you in 5th semester. And these are free exam points. If you can learn how to do this math properly, then you'll get 5 points on each exam because each exam has got 5 points. And on my final, there is 10 math questions. So you shouldn't miss out on points due to math, okay? All right, that concludes the shortcut method tutorial.